Time now to turn our attention to the newspapers. Diptyka Laurent is with us for that. Diptyka, we're going to start with this diplomatic row that's ongoing between the UK and the US over leaked comments.
That's right, the spat coming after leaked reports revealing really what the British ambassador to the US really thinks of US President Donald Trump. According to the documents, he called Donald Trump, quote, inept and his administration uniquely dysfunctional. Trump responded by calling Kim Dark a pompous fool and a very stupid guy. For Dave Brown, the cartoonist at The Independent, the saga will come to bite Donald Trump in the rear, literally, while everyone is covering his backside with kisses. Dark is the one biting it. You might say it's a thorn in his rear end as well. This spat has also become a central issue in the televised debate between prime ministerial candidates yesterday, Jeremy Hunt and Boris Johnson. Hunt siding with Theresa May, accusing Donald Trump of being disrespectful and saying he would maintain Dark in the post if he's elected prime minister. That's what the Financial Times says. The Daily Mirror lashing out at Boris Johnson, calling him a traitor because Boris Johnson has essentially refused to say whether he would back Dark or not if elected prime minister. The Daily Mirror calling him a traitor who backs Trump, not Britain.
There is a lot of intrigue as well, Diptyka, surrounding that UK ambassador Kim Dark.
Well, he was a relatively unknown person until all of this unfolded. 65-year-old Dark is a former council estate boy. He boasted an unblemished record serving Queen and country in Japan, here in France, and America. He does also have some critics or detractors. Many see him as self-important, a true Europhile, loathed by Donald Trump and Brexiteers alike. Many saying if Boris Johnson does become prime minister, he would have been kicked out of his ambassadorial post anyway. One UN diplomat writing under a pseudonym has penned an article for The Independent saying that the big question is, how is it possible that this was leaked, these comments? I mean, the high diplomatic circles are closely guarded, extremely secret. Also, why was it leaked, and why was it leaked to, according to this writer, a pro-Boris Johnson paper, The Mail on Sunday? Was it to support maybe his prime ministerial aspirations? What's clear, though, for this writer is that Dark will stand down eventually, and his standing down will be a, quote, ignominious end for an ambassador who was just doing his job.
Okay. Moving on now, and it's been a year since a group of teenage boys and their coach got trapped in a cave in Thailand.
That's right. Their 18-day ordeal gripped the world. International divers were sent on a perilous mission to save the football team and their coach, who got trapped in a narrow cave in northern Thailand. Today marks the day of 1 year since they were actually rescued, so that mission came to an end. Since then, life has been very different. The Guardian reporting that the cave, which used to get about 5,000 visitors a year, got 1.3 million visitors between October 2018 and April 2019. A welcome boost, no doubt, for the rural region. The government is now planning to use that income to develop the area, restaurants, shopping, hotels, campsites alike. You get the picture. As for the boys, their families have worked very hard to keep their privacy, although Netflix has bought the rights to develop a TV show around their saga, and there is also a film in the works.
I can see it making a good movie, I have to say. It was quite dramatic. Now, Wimbledon, Diptyka, is celebrating its centennial this year, an occasion for some to look back at how women's outfits have scandalised the tournament organisers.
That's right. Actually, the first inaugural Wimbledon back in 1919 opened under an air of scandal thanks to Frenchwoman Suzanne Lenglen, who debuted with what many considered at the time this very skimpy outfit, a low-neck dress, and by that I mean it was grazing the collarbone, short sleeves, and a calf-length pleated skirt, scandalous at the time. No corset, no petticoat was worn. She was called indecent, but you know what? She didn't really care because she won the first 5 Wimbledons anyway. She went on to become sort of an OG fashion influencer, really, surprising people with what was known as a Lenglen Bondo. She swapped out the heeled boots for flat rubber sole shoes that are all the rage right now. Even in 2019, the WTA altered its dress code to allow female players to wear leggings and pants, but this does not apply to the Grand Slam tournaments. Proof that women's fashion continues to divide the world of tennis.
Indeed, and that our definition of skimpy has changed somewhat over the years. But also, there's an article in the Huffington Post reporting that French women have pretty low self-esteem.
That's right. It's from an original official pollster in France that found 60% of French women find themselves average looking. Only 22% of themselves consider themselves attractive. Compare this to our Italian friends, where nearly 40% find themselves pretty attractive, and 28% in Spain and Britain. Although it must be said, as for the male partners, Frenchmen are not spared in this poll either. Nearly 1 in 4 French women say that their partner is not attentive to whether they orgasm or not. So much for the reputation of that we have of French people being beautiful and seductive.
Indeed. Diptyque Laurent, thanks a lot for that look at the international papers. That's it for this edition. Do take care.